Welcome back, guys. I am super excited. I've been trying to get this interview in here, honestly, since the podcast started. This is one of my personal close best friends. We have known each other for so long. She's a friend of the pod. She even helped produce season 2 of Pride, the series. And she was also a very amazing actress, now turned mom. Welcome to the podcast, Whitney Hoy.
Wow.
Whitney.
What an intro. Thank you.
An actress now turned mom.
Now,
Wow.
mom, your greatest role yet.
Wah,
She
wah.
always will be an actress.
She will always
Mother.
be. We've been calling you mother for quite some time. Whitney. Wow.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi,
Hi.
Whitney.
It's so
Yeah.
exciting to have you on the pod.
Seriously, I'm excited to be here, to say the
Well,
least.
Thank you for joining us.
This is so great. I've been asking Whitney for she's like, I don't know. I was like, no, you have to come on. And then honestly, I was in LA in her face and I was like, this is Halloween month. The final is airing everywhere again. She did this movie like years ago. It's so wonderful. And I was like, we have to have the lead of the final come on and talk about Halloween. And what's crazy is, Whitney, tell our listeners out there, you actually don't like scary movies, right?
Oh my God. No, I hate scary movies. I can't do it, y'all. I will have nightmares for weeks.
Aww.
Did you watch the final?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I
like
did.
It?
And I analyzed everything I did, of course, but
I
so maybe
know.
that was helping me not be so jumpy. But yeah, I can't do it. I really can't. Like all those new shows right now, like scary stuff. I like the first jump. I'm like, oh no, thought I could do it, but I can't.
That is so funny. So like, let's start at the beginning. Obviously, Adam, Braden, and I went to school with you at Texas State University. Adam and Braden actually met you before I did, though. They did the Black Latino Playwright series,
we
right?
did the playwright series.
Describe the moment you first met me.
She asked to move shows. She didn't tell you.
Wait, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, we did. It was the
Black Latino
the
Playwright.
Latinx show.
And we like stood,
The Latin show.
we like sat down and like read out of a book or something.
Yeah, I don't remember
Didn't
what
y'all
the name
have?
was.
Was it Rosie Perez? Y'all had not Rosie Perez. It was another actress. I think she unfortunately passed away.
I do not
actually.
remember that.
Elizabeth Pena. It was Elizabeth Pena.
Yeah,
You got
but I don't know if
Elizabeth
she was in our show. She was there.
She was in the
I don't
other show.
remember,
She was in the
honestly.
second show of the Latino thing. And then Whitney and I hit main stage together. We did House of Blue Leaves, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Whitney's,
House of Blue Leaves.
yeah, Whitney's character like
Mhm.
exploded. She died.
Can I tell a
I
funny
did. My character died.
She died, but then
Hold the elephant.
she did. Hold the elephant. And then she went and won the Kennedy Honors because Whitney would always show up in these shows, be doing so much. We talked about this in LA and bragged about it. I was like, Whitney, do you remember when you were doing Macbeth and
Yeah, and you stole the show.
and stole the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
as one of the witches, and then still won
Witch 3 or some shit.
Witch 3, and still won the Kennedy Honors after they tried to exile. It's so stupid. It was a great time.
I do remember Macbeth. I wasn't
Oh,
in the
that
film.
was so much fun. I feel like I remember from the initial audition, it was just like completely letting go. Someone said you get to be a witch, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever like came out, Chuck and I really liked. So I was like, all right, I'll just roll with it.
No, it was fabulous. I just remember watching and just being like, this bitch.
I know.
Is just
I've never
giving.
seen any of the witches like portrayed that way that you did, Whitney. It was phenomenal.
snaps.
Dang.
Snaps. Adam, what were you gonna say? Describe.
I wish I could have seen it.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a video somewhere.
yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I don't know how we
How we get our hair?
there because I've asked about my main stage. I'm like, who the hell has a copy of that? Because I know
They
it's
don't
somewhere.
have my copy of Bat Boy either.
Hmm.
I think it was.
Somebody's got a copy.
No, someone
somewhere.
does have a copy. Remember, I was actually looking for a copy. This is not Texas State, but TJC of Beauty and the Beast.
We're
And
talking about Texas State.
I know, but I was told they cannot release, and I'm assuming this is what happened at Texas State too. They cannot release certain shows like that have like some kind of.
Me as the star. That's fucked.
Continue, Adam, with what you were saying.
No, I was just gonna a funny anecdote from when you and Whitney were in Blue Leaves. Darrell knocked out the main actress.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't
Wait,
nice. So
please jog my memory.
yeah, Ashley Rhodes. Remember, we had to have a
Yes.
show where we couldn't do a show because she was behind a door, and I hit her in the head and knocked her out.
I remember her getting hit in the head, and I feel bad for her, but like I didn't remember it was you.
It was definitely me. I threw open the door because I like to bust into a room, And I did, and it knocked her completely out. Like knocked her onto the floor, unconscious, ambulance, show canceled. And I was like she was knocked out.
And now she's a lesbian.
Well, knock some sense into her then. Great.
Damn.
Welcome to the family, Ashley. So yeah, Whitney, tell us, like, when you first started like acting, like, let's talk about that. I know you feel like it was many eons ago, but we're going to bring you back into it. After this podcast, Whitney will be acting in, people. So Whitney, tell us what really attracted you
She's
to
a
acting.
mom. She can.
Yes, she can.
She can. Women can do anything in 2023. Go ahead, Whitney.
Except choose what they do with their body. Go ahead, Whitney.
Yep, that's true.
Oh. Ooh.
That's another topic for another day.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question? The question was is what
What do you want
drew
to do
me
with your
acting?
body?
Yes. When did you decide that you want to start acting? And then we can get to brain stupidity later.
Taking it way back, I was in kindergarten, and the kindergarten that I went to was a Christian school, so it was like a private Christian kindergarten class, and we were putting on the nativity play, and I was Mary, and I was told to put baby Jesus in the manger, and I like flew him over into the cradle and stole the show. So it was written on that it was written in the stars.
I'm sure Mary did that as well.
I'm sure she did. She said, "Like these kids, I can't." Oh, that's amazing.
So you knew that you wanted to be in the final ever since you threw Baby Jesus.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's it was just like over like in school, school plays, you get into drama class, and I was president of the drama club and thespian
Me too.
troupe, and yeah, I was fully immersed. So
We sure were. You went to Weatherford High, or you
for
lived
half.
in? I
went to Kennedale first.
Okay, all right.
Little suburb. And then went out to the country, to Weatherford.
Because I just remember when we met, that's where you were coming from.
Yeah.
So did you go to Texas State all 4 years?
Yes.
Oh, cute. So that's why you ran that department. Now, I want to get into a topic that, it was happening when we were in school, but I didn't really know much about it. But like, you were in a show. I can't remember what show, but then you were started to do Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
So I don't know if you want to expand on that drama.
She's, I'm happy to do so.
I'm happy to. No.
Great.
Yeah, well, at Texas State, you have to audition to get into the BFA program, BFA in acting. So I auditioned for that, and part of it was that you couldn't do outside work without asking for permission. And also part of the program is that generally you're in like one of the main stage productions, and so I got cast in Macbeth, actually. And while I was doing that, I also booked the final. So I was driving after rehearsals at like 10 p.m. I would drive all the way up to Dallas. And
oh my God.
Wow.
And but I have to say it was like the best time ever. And I got called into the office, and they were like, "So we hear that you have an outside project," and I was like, "Yeah, like what about it?" And they're like, "Well, that's not part of the program. We really want you to focus on your school and your training." And I'm like, but isn't it so that way when we're like available or outside to do professional work that it can be a seamless transition? And they were like, yes. And I was like, well, my seamless transition has already begun. I have payment, I
Well, tell them.
Yeah. So, but I already done Friday Night Lights before the final.
Yeah.
Because I remember when all that was happening, and then people were just like, "Oh yeah, there she goes. She thinks she's better than everybody because she's in FNL." And
They were such haters.
Like, what the hell's happening? I was like, let this girl live.
Hate.
No, for real. It was just like, I thought this was the whole point of this.
Right.
She's already doing what we're doing.
And it was only because other people within the class and the program were upset that they were not doing professional things, so they would go back and say.
But I don't think they even tried. Like, what's great about
Well,
Whitney is like she
yeah.
was trying and she was doing it, and she was also doing whatever the measly BFA wanted to do. Her.
Yeah, they did.
I'll be a little funky play.
I'll win a Kennedy Award.
And I'll win an award.
Oh, thank you.
So Whitney, so explain kind of a little bit more like what happened with your role in Macbeth and what they tried to do to you.
Well, in main stage productions, you're gonna have like a understudy, and so a lot of the main cast had understudies, and so once they found out that I was doing the outside work, they were like, well, we are gonna make sure that your understudy is well prepared, and then they said that because she was doing so much work, I guess, behind the scenes as an understudy, that she should also have an actual performance. So regardless if I was available or not, she was going to get a performance. And the performance that was originally like set on the schedule was the time where the judges were coming. And I
You said
was like, no, I made this character. I am here. I have not missed any classes. I have not missed any rehearsals. I have earned to be here. So yeah, I stood up for myself. I was actually really proud of myself, but
good for you.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, sorry.
Nice.
Like this is
Yay. And
No,
so
that's
were
great.
they were just like, okay, fine. They just bent over and let you win that argument.
pretty much.
Nice.
I think I came in with guns blazing a little bit. So
No, that's great.
I cussed them out too, but for a whole different reason. I went around to each teacher and cussed them smooth out. And I went to Adam. I said, Adam, I just cussed everybody out, and we didn't make BFA. Like, yo, the way that I went to each teacher, it still lives in infamy. I went to Melissa Grogan and said, "You can get fucked." I told Nadine Mozan, "I hope her dog dies."
Darrell.
I got in there by the ass. Michael Costello, I was like, "You cheating on your wife?" I went in and I acted up. And then
Well, you didn't act up enough.
No,
You
well,
didn't get into BFA.
that's all right. But guess who's the professional that's still doing it? Not those people that they had in there. Richard Romeo sells what? Real estate? Good for him. Moving on.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I bet he makes more money than we do. Okay.
yeah.
I still act. When I go to work, I act like
Literally,
I'm
I'm acting right now.
Hey, yo, so Whitney, let's talk about the final.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, she did not want to do this. Talk about the final. She did not want to talk about the final.
I know because funny story. When we were living in LA, I met this fool out there for like a week. We had like a fling or whatever. Anyway,
I remember that stupid.
and he was obsessed with horror movies. And so he had plans to go visit where Scream 1 was shot and all that with his brother, XYZ. Well, then he found out who Whitney was, or figured out we were friends with Whitney. He was like, oh my God, like that's crazy. I love this movie. Like I would really love to talk to her about it. And Whitney was like, no.
I'm sorry. I can't.
I'm so sorry. No. I was like, no. She said it's a no. I'm so sorry.
And that's what ended Joe's week-long flick.
That was it.
Yeah.
So thanks, Whitney.
Not bad.
He said that's final.
That's it.
That's final. Yeah.
So talk about the final. What's going on?
I'm like, well, what do you want to know?
Well, yeah. So how did that come about? So was it just kind of like a word of mouth situation? It was like, oh, I know this girl. She would be perfect for this role, or did you like seek it out?
No, my agent, he approached me about it, and said that it would, it was out of Dallas, so I would have to go up there and audition. And I was like, yeah, I'm like on a roll. Why not? So, I drove up there, and I think I had the initial audition, and then I had a callback. So I actually had to drive back another time for the callback. And the scene that I audition with, which is like just one of those things where casting directors give you like the hardest scene for your audition. And I get it. They want to know that you can do it. But it was just one of those where like you really have to put yourself in the world, especially like for a horror film, right? Like you're scared or you're terrified, one of those really like heightened emotions.
Mhm.
And so yeah, did the audition and didn't hear anything, and then for the callback brought me back in, and then I got done with my scene and they were like, "Are you okay?"
Oh
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
What
Great.
scene
Well,
was
then
it?
that means I did a great job, right? So
Right, exactly.
What scene was it, Whitney? If you can say.
well, I don't want to give too much away in case no one has seen it. But it's when I'm in the chair.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Ah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, got it.
That was a
That's what I thought,
that was
yeah.
a fun scene. You were in that scene with a it was a fun scene.
No,
because-
it was a terrible scene.
I mean, well, it was fun for me to see my friend, and I'm like, Whitney's killing this
Suffering.
because
Yeah.
I like to
I
see
think
my
we
friend.
should watch it tonight.
I think we should. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what we're gonna do. Whitney's in the movie with a lot of people. I believe not Bug Hall. What is his name? He was also in the Little
Oh,
Rascals.
Gasha.
Yes, and then also Mark Donato from Degrassi, a lot of other people. So that's cool. Adam, why'd you laugh? Yo, Adam was looking at me across the room. He was like,
oh,
"Oh,
like, is
say
he
it."
gonna do it? Is he gonna say it?
I said it. Okay. Anyways, moving forward, Whitney. That I want to bring up another movie actually that's kind of very controversial. You start in Petals on the Wind, which is spinoff of Flowers in the Attic, which for most people who don't know, it's about these siblings who are locked in the attic, and then there's a little incest going on. How was it for you being in a movie that deep and playing the character of the brother who was, you were about to marry him, and then you caught him with his sister?
Yeah. Well, they filmed in sequence, so it was all like in order, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
Actor wise, you don't have to like jump around. So kind of going through it, it was really lovely and very like, my character was very like happy-go-lucky, sunshine, daisies, all that, and then to get to that last scene where she's like thinking that everything is hunky-dory and she walks in. Yeah, so even just kind of going through this like, oh, everything's great, and then having that last scene was it felt more authentic, I think, because I had experienced just loveliness the whole time, and then to get to that scene was a little I think we only did like I think like 3 or 4 takes. And so I like literally like I'm outside the front door and I'm like composing like like all happy, go inside, and then I literally see and then run back out. So it's like such like a whiplash effect, you're kind of going through that emotion. But it was fun. It was really one of my favorite projects. Really had such a great time. I felt like I made really great connections. Everyone was just really great. Yeah, that was a really fun one.
I have a question about another project that you're on. It's probably your favorite. It's probably the series. So I don't know if you remember.
Oh no.
It's just a blur, not
Oh no.
Not complete amnesia, but what a moment.
How was it like working with all of us who are not up to your caliber?
Ooh, Whitney, that was
Oh
was
my
a
gosh,
time.
no. That was literally the most fun though, because when you get to hang out with all your friends for one,
Mhm.
and then you get to like really, it felt such like it was just so supportive. Like I remember one scene that I was very
Oh, I remember the scene.
hesitant about,
Oh, I know which one too. Yeah.
but
Okay.
there was a
Let's
lot
not
of
ruin it for
support
our
and
fans that
encouragement.
haven't seen it. That's good. Well, you did a great job.
I have to say, to all 5 of you, actually, and I mean, just everybody in general, like you guys all kind of stepped up when it came to Pride and did things like Braden did a sex scene, Whitney did a sex scene, Adam kissed someone who could not kiss,
Oof.
like Ashley kissed multiple people that she probably didn't want to, and you guys all really stepped up and said, "All right, Darrell, we'll do this."
I
And
also had a full-time job, and I didn't sleep for 5 days. I would go to my job, come here and film at
till
9.
7 a.m. 7 a.m.
I
And
not do that now.
and I do know that I'm happy to announce that all of you guys are going to be in the horror film that I'm going to be doing soon, coming up. It's going to be a slasher. I'm your agent. And so get ready, because I know y'all will
Your
do.
daddy.
Y'all will do. I'm your damn daddy. I know that y'all will do whatever I ask, so I can't wait to do that. So get ready. Get ready. Whitney, you had a whole episode about you and Sullivan and Son, Roofed, where talk about that, because that episode, a lot of people who ain't seen it, like tell people a little bit about what that episode's about.
So my character Ruth was from oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. What's it called?
Sullivan.
No, I know
She was from an Amish community, right?
Amish community. Thank you. So it was her Rumspringa, which for anyone who doesn't know is basically where, you know, young adults get to go out into the regular civilized world and experience things. So then they kind of got it out of their system. And so my character really lets loose and yeah, no, it was fun. And doing sitcom, multicam sitcom was a new experience for me that time. And it was so much fun because it was like theater and film in one.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Yeah, I bet it feels very performative because like you really don't. It doesn't really matter where the camera is because there's so many. You can just do whatever you want.
And then always
Yeah.
since Always Sunny, like that was happy for you to like get to that point because that acting with Danny DeVito and all of those people around, like that was I want to do that. I want to be in the room with Danny DeVito, really bad.
It was
Did
fun.
he-
And yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows that he's short, but I think in person you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I saw Kevin Hart. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
you're like really little.
Little.
Like it shocked me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you get cash back?
Shut up.
Okay.
I just
I wish.
I just saw him in LA at his a surprise stand-up that he did, and he was so little. Like his security were walking with him, and you couldn't see him. Like he's so little.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Damn.
fine though. But go ahead, Adam. Do you have something?
No, I was just gonna say, working with Danny DeVito, like, how was that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
was he like genuine, sweet, kind, a bitch?
Spill the
I
tea.
would say like totally sassy, but in the most respectful way, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he
100.
would be like, talk about pro, like literally he just knew his shit. Like we're all like, you know, extras, everyone's like set in their place, you know, at one. And they're like, okay, bring in Danny, comes in, he does his thing, and then he's gone. Like he is just like, talk about like, just knows his shit and out and he's done. Like for him, I think it was maybe 1 or 2 takes. And they're like, we got it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He has a new show here in New York that I want to go see.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What show?
Couldn't tell you, but
Oh, okay.
it's new, and I think it's just him.
Oh, it's a one-woman show.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit.
Uh-huh. A one penguin show.
Stop it.
Oh.
As I told Lady Freeze.
Would you
It's a
consider
one-woman show.
that? Would you consider Batman Returns a Christmas movie
Mm.
Partially.
or like a horror movie, like a
Both.
Halloween?
I
Mm.
think both can exist.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you had like a preference of like, oh no, it's strictly Christmas. 'Cause, you
No,
know, it
it's
takes place.
definitely horror because all that blue blood that I cannot deal with.
Blue blood.
Yeah.
Oh. I was
Well,
like,
that's just the Tim Burton
Talking about
aesthetic. It's
favorite.
definitely red, but they make it look like I don't know. It's very weird.
I don't like it.
I thought it was black.
Yeah, it's like black tar.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I didn't have HD when I was growing up, so it looked blue.
I know that's right. We had to move the antenna outside and make sure it was facing toward the east.
Forget when there was a tornado.
Forget it.
Y'all are so country.
No,
Mhm.
I know. Okay, so Whitney, tell us about your I wouldn't call it a transition, but your journey from not being a mother to being a mother. How has that
Yeah.
been?
It's so crazy. I know that maybe you've heard people just say like, oh, when you're a mom or when you're a parent, like you just like, there's just so much love for your kid. And I just remember hearing that in the past and being like, that's cool. You know, like whatever. And then when it happens, you're like, oh shit. Like
Like, I
I
get it.
have never loved anything and been obsessed with anything this much in my life. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, he's the cutest baby.
Yes.
Oh, wait till
He
you meet him
looks
in
like a
person.
doll.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love his name.
Huh?
I said I love his name. It's such a
Oh.
cute name.
Thank you. Yeah. I was against it at first, to be honest. And then
Oh.
once he was born, it's like 4:00 in the morning or something like that. And I'm like,
You're
a
like,
little out of it.
that is what
They
will
tricked
make
you. They got you. They said, we did just sign right here. This is his new name. You're like, cool.
you're like, that is what will make the wheel go round.
Do you
Yeah.
think that you would put him into acting or
Hmm.
let him if he, you know, it gets to the point where he makes the decision on his own?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I think you
Okay.
learn so much about yourself
Mm-hmm.
when you play other characters that
Mhm.
like yeah, it's such like a I've always thought of acting as being therapeutic too. So
100%.
Yeah.
I'm for it if he wants it. If he wants to, I don't know,
Hook on the corner, you'll
make
support that
clocks,
too.
Wow.
that's fine. You know.
I support the clocks.
Yeah.
Oh, he calls them TikToks. It's really cute.
Oh,
Aww.
He's adorable. Like he was just giggling, and when I got that, he was just so tickled. He was so tickled, and it was so great.
oh,
He
that's so sweet.
literally could not stop giggling. It was really cute.
Oh,
I laugh when I look at Darrell too.
shut up, Brayden. So let's talk about your other role. So you work in social media. You do a lot of social media. I know you also did some with Pride as well. So like the landscape of social media is changing so much. Obviously, we're seeing so many new things in the news, and it's like really hard for people to differentiate what's real and what's not. What is your thoughts on social media and the changing landscape, especially with Elon Musk with X and things like that?
I mean, I think people have their own perceptions. So I think you're always going to run into someone who says this and someone who says that. And it's always probably going to contradict no matter what. I mean, it's just, you know, and especially now it's not just photos, it's video content. And so
Mhm.
video content can be edited a certain way.
Mhm.
So there's that side, but then it can also be very revealing, you know, video content. So I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
just when you get into like politics or fake news or whatever it is, like you have to do your own research. You can't just depend on social media to tell you.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you say you are a fan of like the AI movement
That was gonna be my question.
that's happening right now, like the big boom?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my experience, like I think it's both great and not so great. I think it depends on the industry.
Mhm.
But I have tried using AI for like to write captions, you know, as a social media
Yeah.
manager, like it's super helpful. It spits it out in like 5 seconds. But I've noticed that engagement goes down when you're
Mm.
not writing your own captions.
Mm.
So maybe it's about getting the ideas, having them write it out, but then definitely going back and tweaking it because, you know,
Yeah.
and I also think with AI, like
Interesting.
if there's any like virtual reality or augmented reality, like let's say that you put on glasses or goggles or something like that to try on clothes.
Yeah.
It kind of takes away that in-person shopping experience, and a lot of times if you're in store you have a higher chance of purchasing.
Yes,
Um,
100%. I'm guilty.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
so
I mean,
yeah,
it
I think
also
it's
takes away jobs
that's
too,
my
like from
experience.
people in stores too. I think, like in those kind of situations, they definitely downsize having people in stores
Mm-hmm.
because they're like more people are shopping online. I mean, that's why a lot of people have lost their jobs.
Yeah, I think it's a little scary in that sense because it's like, okay, well, they'll only hire seasonal, which is
Yeah,
really only like
Mhm.
3 months, you know,
yeah,
here and there. So it's, you know, depending on what you're selling or what the holiday is. But yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a little spooky. But I don't know. I think if obviously in the right hands, it's just like we can change the world with this information.
Yeah.
I
Technology.
definitely used
It's a
it
give and take.
for my cover letters and stuff. Like I used
Mhm.
it, but what like kind of what Whitney was saying, I had Chat GPT did my cover letter, and then I took it and changed it and beeped it up with the
Yeah.
help of Adam. And
Right.
I think that definitely helps you with like the bones and
The bones, absolutely.
outline of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes out like the grunt work.
And it's crazy because you put a few words in there, like, oh, this is what I did, this is what I want to do. And they take that and craft this whole thing and then leave a blank for the jobs and things you want to put in and change. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard this term thrown around a lot, and I don't know. I just never knew what it was until now. I'm just gonna ask, what is Chat GPT?
I have no idea, Whitney.
Or whoever.
No. Whitney answered, but I was saying like I recently have been like
Because I've heard about it on other podcasts. I've heard it thrown around on social media.
mm-hmm.
You know.
I know the
Yeah.
T.
So yeah, ChatGPT, the one that I use is openai.com. AI.com. But it's very, very simple user face where you literally make an account, and you can make a free account. You don't have to do the paid version, which is $20 a month. Here I am, like, spokesperson for this. But it's great. You can literally, like, you start like a new chat each time you have like a new question or something. And then it will spit out an answer for you. So like you can put in there like, what time is it in Australia? Or you can put in, you know, what are 10 recipes I can make on a Sunday evening with olives and prosciutto? I don't know. And then it spits out stuff. So it's like a Google or a search engine, but gives you like direct answers instead of like scrolling through websites to find an answer.
Okay.
So my people at work, we use it for writing pitches in PR. So we're like, ChatGPT, write me a pitch about, we're about to launch XYZ on this date. We have this person available to speak on this day. And then it does like like one paragraph about like what we're doing, this person, like everything, like it does the grunt work, like you were saying.
Interesting. I wonder if my company ever uses something like this. I should ask the marketing.
They probably do. You have to be
probably for plans, maybe, or even their pitch decks to like bring new business.
I think a lot of people are a little nervous though, because once jobs find out that those things are being used in some cases, they're like, oh, then we don't need a human being.
Well, that's probably why they got rid of the other marketing
coordinator. I
Yeah.
will say though, like get very, very good at it, and then you're have job security.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of a way to use ChatGPT. Like you really have to know how to speak to it in order to get really good answers in return, and for it to actually like really work for you.
Yeah.
So they're now hiring people called prompt engineers. So if you can get really good at it, you have job security.
Yeah.
Like, remember when we first got Google and you would just like type in all this bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And now we've kind of gotten smarter where it's like just 5 keywords.
Yeah.
That you
that's what Siri is also a form of AI. Like all of those things are like there. Actually, you have some. Were you trying to say something?
I've been trying to get a word in for like 5 minutes. I'm like,
okay, you know what?
I'm not even saying anything that.
Go ahead.
I was just trying to be a part of the conversation.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like my only experience really with ChatGPT when I was introduced to it, I put in like, 'cause I was recently in Christy's wedding, as you know, as a maid of honor, and I was like, oh, my maid of honor speech. And the person who introduced it to me, she was like, oh, they can write your maid of honor speech. And so I tried it out, and I was just like, write a maid of honor speech for someone who connected with Harry Potter and pasta. And like, I just put keywords.
Sure.
And it wrote out this whole speech. And I was like, oh, this is actually really good. Of course, I would have to go in and tweak it. I didn't end up using any of it at all. I just winged it.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
It was very interesting the way that they had laid it out.
It's creepy.
Like, yeah. And I was like, oh man, this is actually really good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was this when I had AP English?
Right.
So that's also a problem.
Yeah.
Because people are
kids in school.
That's why we have Turnitin.com.
What's that?
Turnitin.com.
It checks for plagiarism.
Oh yeah, you would submit essays into that.
Oh, is that what's her face tried to call us out on in college? Adam, the one woman. Remember me, you, and Aaron?
I guess so.
She tried to.
We
Like, we did not plagiarize this. We didn't. And she was just like, "Y'all did." It was
Yeah.
stupid.
I hated that class too.
Anyway,
Anyway,
yes. So Whitney, what else is coming up for you next? What do you have going on next? What are you looking forward to doing? Are you ready to go back to acting? Darrell's excited to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm apparently going to be in a horror film.
Yeah.
Like there's that.
You heard it here, folks. I got
I'm a little black bird.
a little black crow. I'm a
Yeah.
crow.
It's you.
It's me.
hold
I mean,
on. Speaking of, I'm so sorry. Vermont has a lot of crows.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Whitney, go ahead.
It just brought to my mind, and then I know Whitney, you said you're planning a trip to Vermont. Is that right? Did I make that up?
No, but I want to go. Can we film the horror film with the crows in Vermont?
There we go.
See, here first.
There we go.
I think we got some. I think something's coming together. I think this is gonna work out.
Yeah, it definitely
I love it.
is.
So what else? I mean, obviously, what are you doing for Action's birthday? Tell us that.
We are going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
He's gonna love it.
He's very into Mickey at the moment, so it's perfect.
Oh,
And I suggest
Oh.
anyone who wants to go to Disneyland, go with Whitney. Whitney actually took me, my first time ever going to Disneyland was with Whitney. She got me the little ears. I still have those ears. She's like, you have to have ears. It's your first time. Had my name put on the back of it and everything.
Well, they
Like,
just upped prices, so
I did. Yeah.
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 fucked. Mickey, whatever.
Well, that's because
100
their
100
stock
years.
price is going down.
Yeah, and it's the
Wow.
100-year anniversary.
It is.
Blah blah blah.
That's
Well,
another conversation.
I know. Well, Whitney, listen, I'm so glad that you got to come on and kiki with us fools. We haven't completely enjoyed this. Please let everyone know where they can follow you on social media, to follow cute pictures of Axel and also to follow everything that you're doing in the social media and wedding world, because that's also something we didn't touch on. Whitney, quickly touch on the wedding stuff that you have done and all of that. I want to hear that.
Lots of wedding stuff. Yeah, so I have a very strong background in working in bridal, and alongside that has been social media. And so it's a meeting of the worlds for my next step is both bridal and
Cute.
social media. So yeah, combined both of those. But yes, I guess you can I'm not that interested in you guys. It's just Whitney Hoy or at Whitney Hoy on Instagram.
That is not true, Whitney.
That's
You are
not true.
always posting good content.
Oh, well, thank you. If I could get back to decorating every day, then I would feel like my life is just full of
I
joy.
followed your whole journey where you were
Uh-huh.
redecorating like your room, like the wall with like
the painting.
the moving
Oh,
and the
yeah.
painting.
Yeah.
Seeing it in person is wild.
Yeah.
Like when they did most of that themselves, like it was kind of
I know.
You should come do my place with
Well,
me.
she's currently working for me right now.
Yeah.
To redo. She's actually redoing my room.
Okay.
Like she's actually redesigning my room. So it's great.
You
Cute.
guys would
I'm
love it. Please call
Yeah, I
me.
might recruit you to help me with my room too.
I'm there for it.
It's so good to see you, Whitney.
We
I
love you so
know.
much.
So
I
good to
miss
see you guys.
you.
Yes, and
I-
can't wait to see you out here for Christmas at some point.
That's the goal, really.
Yay!
Is in New York? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Tell Devin
Magical.
we said hello. Tell Axel, give him a big hug from me. I love you very much, and we will talk more soon.
Sounds good. Love you guys.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.